crying, you're crying. We finally got an amazing update from the Princess of Wales, and it could not have been any more beautiful. Today I want to deep dive on the most beautiful elements of this video, as well as break it down in the classical femininity matrix and explore how it is that this became just so powerful. Hi, I'm Hannah. Welcome to The Swish. I don't know about you, but when I got that message this morning that the Prince and Princess of Wales had posted something to Instagram, I had a little bit of a heart flutter. So I didn't really know what to expect, but oh my goodness, it could not have been better. This was single-handedly the most insightful look into the life of the Prince and the Princess of Wales ever. The way that they relate to one another, their public displays of affection, the voices of their children, so many sweet moments. I could not have asked for something better. And I hate to make a comparison, but you can't ignore the fact that the Prince and Princess of Wales announced this, and only a few moments later, the Montecito duo had something to say. I recently started this channel back in May. I took it seriously. So thank you guys so much for supporting. I have a 10K giveaway coming up. I'll give you all the information about that soon. It's in partnership with Anna Lucia Beltran Diamonds, who many of you have been looking at their amazing stuff. Best part of all, they are backed by the royal family. So take a look at Anna Lucia's products by clicking the link below and use code SWISH20 to get 20% off. And if you purchase right now over a certain amount, you'll get a bonus piece of diamond jewelry. I'm not kidding. So this beautiful cinematic 3-minute long video was filmed by Will Warr in Norfolk just last month in August. The family's been up there for the last few months over the summer holidays. Their kids went back to school this last Wednesday, so things are getting back into the swing of things. But we know that they've been there spending time together as a family like they often do every summer. But this year, it was particularly special and challenging. And Catherine spoke to that in her extremely beautiful video. It felt like watching a movie, like watching home movies of their life. It's filmed, like I said, by Will Warr, who is a London wedding photographer. I'd love to know how he got this gig. It just seems like an amazing opportunity. I did a whole video on how their PR has changed recently, and this is definitely an example of that. Not only have we seen this type of style where we actually see them together like never before, we're actually hearing the children's voices, we are getting amazing insights into their life, but William's had a beard over the last few events he's been at, so they're definitely taking things a little bit more casually. As you may know, I like to analyze classical femininity in light of royal trends, traditions, and lifestyles. And it really boils down to 4 things that I've discovered that really embody classical femininity and elegance. And although we haven't seen a lot of the Princess of Wales lately, this is an amazing opportunity to analyze how this representation of the things that she's been presenting now is very contrary to mainstream celebrities, mainstream media, and unfortunately extended parts of her family. And I have a whole video about this, I'll link it below. But the 4 are symmetry, subtraction, sustainability, and seduction. So let's start with the first, symmetry. Although this is a new angle for the Waleses, this is amazingly on brand for them. Waleses are all about family. They're all about the opportunity to spend time together, to get back to nature. So this was filmed outside mainly, which is something that William and Catherine just care so deeply about. It was so much on brand for them, and it didn't feel overproduced either. Oftentimes things like this can feel like they are overly done, overly edited, overly scripted, but it didn't feel like that at all. It felt like we were along for the ride with them as we were sitting in the car watching her shift gears or watching her kids run by as she swings Prince Louis on the swing. Many people often feel like the royal family is out of touch because it is such an old traditional institution, but I think the way that this was presented is a beautiful way to look at how it can be their own brand, but also so rich and rooted in their meaning. The second part is subtraction. Now, the last time that we saw Catherine was in July at Wimbledon, when she had a standing ovation for her return. She looked absolutely wonderful. I think she looks even better now that she's completed her chemotherapy. But in that time since, she's been very specific about the things that she's shared. And this is a trait about Catherine that's so beloved. She doesn't overshare. She doesn't have sources that are constantly telling things to the press. She has an element of subtraction in her life in a very, very positive way. She wants for us to be engaged with the things that she's talking about by putting a light on things other than herself. And even though this announcement is all about her completion of preventative chemotherapy, it also was about her family mainly. It was about the work that she's put in to be remaining cancer-free and being around her family and loving her family. Now, the third element of classical femininity and elegance that Princess Catherine displays so well in this amazing new video is that of sustainability. And sustainability doesn't have to mean a political angle or something about the Green New Deal. It actually just means something that is timeless. An element of timelessness that we look back on in 50, 100 years, and Princess Catherine has always been an enigma in that she represents classic values, but also she's paving a new modern era in the royal family, and that's something that few women today who are inspirations to millions and millions of other women can do. And so she's laying frameworks for sustainability, for her love of family, for the love of her children, and it's absolutely remarkable. And finally, the fourth principle is seduction. But I don't really like that word. I'm trying to find another S word that means something to do with intrigue and interest, because there is an element where we want to know more. We want to make sure she's okay and learn more. We've been so grateful to get anything that we can as an update from her. And that's because she doesn't share everything all the time. Prince William and Princess Catherine have been together for over 20 years. And that is an incredible mark of what it means to have a strong relationship, to rely on each other through the good times and bad. And there's an attraction to that. This is the first time we've seen Princess Catherine's parents, Carol and Michael Middleton, in a proper Kensington Palace post in this way. You also saw her brother James commenting on the post together, just talking about how proud he was. He's clearly been spending time with his family as well. And I'm so grateful that William has a supportive family like that he married into a strong group of people that are wanting the best for one another and pushing them towards success and away from all the chaos that William's had to deal with. Our world tries to tear down the family unit at every single turn and every single angle. And it's my great hope that in watching this, young women like myself are inspired by it. That this is the ultimate dream. The ultimate dream is to have a family and have children and be able to look at life from a simple perspective, the way that Catherine shared with us. I am so grateful that William and Catherine are presenting this as an example. They are one of the shining beacons of light in our culture for what it means to be a strong father and mother, and to want to raise up children who are explorative and educated and well-rounded and thoughtful. And unfortunately, most of our media today wants to tear that down. They want to celebrate singleness and celebrate not having children and celebrate industrialism, but there's an entirely different angle that William and Catherine are presenting here, and it's a blessing to see that, and it's very rare these days. It also shares the importance of community in grief, and it truly makes me very sad to look at how Harry and Meghan have cut themselves off from their community, from their family. Harry is desperately in need of a group like the Middletons, and I believe that he truly benefited from that when he was back home in the UK and was around William and Catherine. He spoke of Catherine like a sister, and I believe the Middletons took care of him in the same way that they took care of William. And it makes me very sad that not only are they all alone in California, not only are they all alone from a distance perspective from their families, but because they've cut them off. They don't even really speak to their families as we understand it. And so this foundation of what William and Catherine are presenting as the most important thing, to be investing in your family, to be investing in a community that you can pour into, and as Catherine said, to love and to love back. There's nothing quite like that, and my heart breaks for Harry and Meghan that they are in that type of situation and frankly that it's self-induced. Now, I don't want to make this about William and Harry's rift or about Meghan and Catherine's rift, but there is something to be said about this amazing video by the Wales being posted then only 90 minutes later. The announcement by Netflix of Harry's new show called Polo, which was interesting, they didn't feature a picture of him on it, but we know what it is, was posted at 11:09 in my time zone. The Wales' video was posted around 9:29 in my time zone, and what's interesting to me is usually by Netflix and big corporations like that, with a launch of a new show, that would be scheduled for weeks and weeks in advance. And therefore, you'd probably schedule all of the social media posts. There's tons of different softwares you can go in and plan out all the different ways you're going to be pushing out that information. And usually when you do something like that, you do it on the hour or on the half hour. So posting it at 11:09 instead of an 11 o'clock or an 11:30 makes me question the way that this was done. Obviously, nobody knew that Princess Catherine would be posting this today. However, it does make me question the motives. I could imagine someone hopping on the phone with Netflix and telling them to push something out right now, because unfortunately we saw the exact same thing happen when Princess Catherine made her return at the King's Trooping the Color Parade. So unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be below them, but they are struggling right now. Meghan's been rejected through her trademark. She's been rejected through her logo. I have a whole video coming out very shortly about that, and it is looking to be more and more of a disaster. I look forward to Catherine's upcoming engagements. I'm so grateful for the answered prayers that she is going to be coming back, that she's done with her chemotherapy. Let's all remain in prayer for her and her family. Again, they're just a beautiful example of what family life is like in the midst of a culture that wants to tear that down and wants to celebrate the loss of the nuclear family. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have been blessed by this video. Go ahead and keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe. We're coming up on 10K subscribers. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.